What's up, guys? The Bears placed Kiran Amegadjie on the non-football injury list and defensive end Jamree Kromah on the physically unable to perform list. It means neither of these guys is ready for full contact at the start of training camp. Rookies reported to Hallis Hall on the 16th, and they were required to do physicals and medical checks while also attending team meetings. Veterans will be reporting to camp tomorrow, and we'll hear news of any vets who aren't 100% over the next couple of days. But today I wanted to give an update on Kiran Amegadjie, our third round pick rookie offensive tackle, and what to expect going forward. He had a significant injury at Yale last season. He was not able to participate at the Reese's Senior Bowl or the NFL Combine. I believe he would have scored very highly on his RAS score. To me, he's an athletic freak, but he was not able to test at all. He tore his quad last season, and the plan has always been for Kiran to not be able to participate in the offseason program. Now, this really did hurt his draft stock. A guy who has not allowed a single sack since 2001, and he has the 10th longest arms ever measured for an offensive tackle in NFL Combine history. His measurables and skill set were sure to tantalize general managers around the NFL, and he's a guy who could have ended up in the first round if he didn't get hurt. Reese's Senior Bowl director Jim Nagy spoke about Kiran after his injury last season, and he was instantly a fan. He said Karan's maturity and perspective are very rare for someone his age, and he cannot wait for him to do great things in the NFL. He also said that Kiran was the only sub-FBS player in the entire draft that he felt could get drafted on day 2. I think a lot of fans are sleeping on Karan's upside and his potential to be a starting left tackle in the NFL. He's just in a tough situation here as he's been recovering from a tough surgery all offseason, and it's looking more and more doubtful that he's going to be ready for preseason action that starts up in just a couple of weeks. But that's just it. I think a lot of people miss this. If it wasn't for Karan's major injury and not being able to participate at the Senior Bowl or the Combine, there's no way he still would have been on the board in round 3. We ended up getting a steal. This is a guy who has first round talent, incredible IQ, work ethic, power, and athleticism. He has everything you want in a young tackle prospect. The only things holding him back from competing for a starting job right away are his injury and his inexperience. Amegadjie was coming into his own as a prospect, dominating the competition. After joining Yale as a 2-star recruit from Hinsdale, Illinois, he transitioned to left tackle, and he was an absolute force to be reckoned with. In his first year at left tackle in 2021, he played 695 snaps, and he allowed just 11 pressures and 1 sack. The only sack he would allow in his 3 years playing left tackle at Yale. In 2022, he played over 650 snaps, and he did not allow a sack all season long, only giving up 4 pressures his junior year. His impact was apparent, and you could see his skills on tape. He entered 2023 ready to dominate and elevate his game to a first-round pick type level. Unfortunately, after just 235 snaps, he would partially tear his quad, and it ended his season prematurely. He still didn't allow a sack, though, and hasn't since 2021, more than 1,000 snaps ago. In fact, he has over 1,600 snaps at left tackle, and he's allowed just 1 sack in his career. Pair that with his unique power and athleticism and his insane arm length, and you have a guy that's perfect for what Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles are looking for in a young tackle prospect. This is a guy that Simo, our offensive coordinator, can mold. And that's without even taking into account his incredible work ethic or that his dream was to play for the Chicago Bears. This is a local guy who grew up a Bears fan. Amegadjie is an incredibly talented young prospect, but fans need to understand just how serious of an injury he had. A torn quad is not something to mess around with, and when it happens to older players, it can even end their career. I've read a bunch on the topic, and most doctors seem to say because of his age, it does not seem to be a serious long-term concern, but it is something that takes about a full year to recover from. So expectations for his rookie season alone should be tempered a bit. However, the excitement for his future and what he can do down the road and what a steal we might have landed in round 3, that's all warranted. This guy is extremely talented. He's an athletic freak. He's instantly more powerful with a stronger anchor than Braxton Jones is, and he has incredible upside. He could even factor in as an option later in the season at tackle or guard. But yesterday's news that he's added to the non football injury list was not surprising to me. His future is still incredibly bright, and I'm hoping he's cleared for contact before camp ends. But even if this is just a redshirt season for our rookie tackle, his promise and his upside are enough to be excited for his future as a Chicago Bear. I believe we now have three potential bookend tackle prospects with Karan alongside Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright. For those people still saying that Ryan Poles hasn't done anything to fix this offensive line, get with the times. Now he just needs to finally fix the center position long term and shore up the interior, and this team will be cooking. Finally, the final update was Jamree Kromah headed to the PUP list. That was a bit unexpected. I assumed he was healthy after he scored a 9.65 on his RAS and tested at the Shrine Bowl. I'm hoping it's something minor here. He needs to be healthy for the preseason and the majority of camp if he wants a shot at making the active roster. If not, maybe he's a practice squad stash for 1 year and has a redshirt season himself. I'm actually a big fan of Jamree Kromah. I love his burst off the line of scrimmage. He has a ton of power, and he also brings the versatility to play inside or outside on the defensive line. I have spent a lot of time looking at his footage from the East-West Shrine Bowl, and I think he's an intriguing player who can make this roster. But in order to do that, he does have to be healthy for training camp. So this is a bigger worry for Kromah than it is for Amegadjie to me. Kromah needs to get into camp and get healthy, show off in preseason, and then he has a shot to make this roster. If not, then he's probably going to be a practice squad guy. And yes, he can redshirt this year, but with 3 picks potentially in the top 50 next year and a loaded defensive end class, if Kromah doesn't make an impact this year, he could get lost in the shuffle. So for me, I am hoping he gets healthy and makes it to training camp very soon so he can make an impact because I do love his upside. But that's it for today. Veterans Report tomorrow. Our first practice is Saturday. Stay tuned, guys. I have a ton more content on the way, including a video with Greg Gabriel, who's going to be joining me as a regular guest now. Look out for that tomorrow. Remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.